Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday to my Chicago peeps, my Florida peeps, my DMV peeps, DMV, District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia peeps, my home, DC, 640, Georgia Avenue, Lord and Morton, whatever it is you want to call it. Good morning, right? Today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to do some zodiacs, right? And I'm going to associate them to what's going on with the Queen's Court and how everything is unraveling, right? I haven't done anything in the zodiacs in a while. You know, some of you people think I worship the devil because I include horoscopes and zodiacs and the stars and the moon and things like that. But, you know, it's just my nature, you know. But let's do this. So I am sure everyone knows about what's going on with the Queen's Court. Maddie set us up on Monday thinking that we was actually going to get an episode when in actuality we got an announcement, right? The following morning, Khia got the gumption to get up and say her piece, right? But I really think that the only reason why she came out, well, I talk about her being a Scorpio, but the main reason why I think she had to come out and say something was because the young lady, Tasha K, Unwind with Tasha K, had said she had some information on Khia and she was going to release it right after Queen's Court, which didn't happen. And then she said that she was getting permission from T.S. Madison. I don't know why, but then she said as soon as she got permission from T.S. Madison's people, then she would release it Tuesday morning, which she did, and it was with an interview with a young man that was an assistant of Khia's. He was a gay dude who said that the community does not embrace him. The community does not protect him at all. That's what he feels. Everybody, I don't know what that was about, but Khia accused him of stealing from her while they were in Vegas, and he in turn exposed her, speaking on how, excuse me guys, my sinuses, hold on. Speaking on how T.S. Madison supposedly had porn ghosts. I know you like, what, Nay? Yes, porn ghosts. Porn ghosts in her basement because supposedly Maddie was doing her porns in the basement and how that made her feel uncomfortable, and that was part of the reason why Khia had a problem with being down in the basement, which doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not saying that Khia doesn't feel that way, but it just seems, I don't know, it just seems, I don't know, it's just, that guy's whole judge to me seemed really, I don't want to say fake, but it just seemed, I don't know, like opportunist. That's what it seemed to me. And then he went on to say how Khia was messing with a married 22-year-old NFL player. I mean, it happens. Not that I'm agreeing with it or saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that it happens, you know. So he went on to talk about that. I don't believe that Unwind knew that the story was going to be that, I want to say boring or uninteresting. You know, it felt like she tried to make it interesting, but it wasn't happening. It wasn't interesting to me. It was just pretty much really like, it just didn't sit well. So much so that I was like, nah, I'm not feeling this. So I believe that Khia decided to release a video because of what Tasha K was going to release. And I believe that to be true because when Khia did her video, she said, I don't know who this Unwind Tasha K is. You mentioned her. So to me, like I always say, if you talk about it, then you're bothered. People be like, it's not really a problem. Well, if it wasn't a problem, you wouldn't have mentioned it. That's how I feel about it. When people be like, and you be like, well, I didn't know this was a problem to you. No, it's not a problem. Well, if it wasn't a problem, you wouldn't have ever said anything in the first fucking place. I mean, to me, right or wrong. So when Khia came on, Khia told her side. Now let's do this. Let's talk about the Scorpio. Khia holds true to her Scorpion ways. One, always being, what's that word? Suspicious. Scorpios are very, very suspicious. I have a tendency to be suspicious too, but that's because some things have happened in my life that make me look at people sideways. I look at everybody sideways because, well, we're going to talk about the Libra later, but because I found out that everybody doesn't think the same way, right? Everybody doesn't come from the same pure heart. Some people think of things in everybody is good, and some people think in ways of everybody is bad. Scorpios think of it like everybody is bad, and they have the propensity to do evil things, right? So that's what Khia's attitude was from. And the punks that she was speaking about that came into Maddie's house to do the production, they were the Larry Reid show. Now I follow Larry Reid. I don't watch them every day because they don't really grab me. They don't really have a big audience. I don't know how big their audience is over there on Facebook. I don't know, but I know that they have like 3,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, on YouTube, 3,000 or 4,000 followers on YouTube. And I was like, what is Maddie doing there? But then when I watched their video, they said that they paid Maddie to be on the show. And you know, T.S. Madison is always about that coin. So I guess they paid her right enough to appear on the show. Right? Because I was like, why would she be on such a small platform? Again, I don't know how big their Facebook following is. I don't know. Which, by the way, I need to do something about my Facebook too, because you know you can get paid over there too. But anyway, that's all in time, child. But their story was the punks, that's Khia calls them. Their story was, look, Maddie came to our show. She liked the way the judge was over here. She said, how much would it cost me for you to come to my place and set it all up? And they gave her a price. They said it's a very low price. And to me, I don't understand why you even charged, why you even mentioned the fact that it was a very low price, because you said yourself that you're not professionals in it. You just tinkle around. So this shouldn't even be a cause of I'm charging Maddie a very low price. Which you say is 70% cost. It should be a flat fee of $10 because number one, you enjoy the Queen's Court and you should be there just to support. And especially because if shit go wrong, what do you say when shit go wrong and she done paid you to make it right and shit went wrong? So I don't know if I said it right, but anyway, Khia thought that the guys were there to sabotage Maddie's platform, you know, that they had evil in their heart. And like I said, Scorpios have a tendency to think that people come from a bad place opposed to a good place in most cases, you know, especially when they don't know them, especially when they don't trust them. When they trust you and you in there, then they loyal to a foe. But you know, Scorpios will come from a bad place. Now, what I did admire about Khia was that she was totally coming from a place from emotion, totally. But what I admired from it is that she stood her ground. And she stood her ground, and she wasn't about to crumble on camera in front of nobody. Love that about the Scorpio. I love that. The second thing that I love about her is Scorpio can be very, very protective. So much so that they will tear this whole place apart. They will tear everything apart. I've told you those things about the Scorpios. The Scorpios, they will rip some shits up if they thinking you hurting them or their family or whatever it is. They have the capability of being an atomic bomb and then blowing themselves up with the atomic bomb. Hence, why people call Khia the self-sabotaging Khia. So she was not happy with the fact that she felt like the punks, the Larry Reid show came in to sabotage T.S. Madison. If it would have came out right, maybe her whole zhuzh would have been different. But she felt a certain kind of way because she felt herself about to explode. And if any of you all know that Scorpio explosion is dangerous. So she excused herself. No, it wasn't professional. No, it wasn't the right thing to do professionally. You should have stayed there. But on the other hand, when you know Scorpios, let them leave. Let them go. She on the brink of destruction. Let her get the hell up out of here. And to be honest, me being a Libra, I would have let her ass go too. Let my sister get the hell up out of here for everybody spontaneously combusted here from her eyes. Not that was the right thing to do, but I understood it. The next thing is this. Let me talk about this before I move on to Maddie. Scorpios never, ever, ever admit when they're wrong. They will stand with pig's blood all over them like Carrie, with the evidence all over their body, and they looking at you going, did you kill that pig, Kyle? Did you kill that pig? Drenched in pig's blood, she'll say, no, I didn't kill that pig. Because their pride and them admitting when they fucked up, they can't do it. They can't say when they're wrong. They will argue with you tooth and nail, knowing in their heart that it was wrong. But they'll make it your fault because it's just a part of their protection that they have to do. And to back you up off of them, they'll sting you. And they'll talk about, like I said, go to your grandmother's grave, dig her up, kiss her in the mouth, tell her I said fuck you bitch, and throw her back in there. That's how them Scorpios are. Just fact of the matter. But I believe that she definitely owes Maddie an apology, but she won't do it because they don't admit that they're wrong. Another thing that I feel like Scorpios will do is they will, in order to make themselves feel strong or look stronger, they'll throw their friend under the bus. Because there's been times where I told y'all some of my best Judys are water signs. Like I got a Judy that me and her ain't talking right now because I hurt her feelings, and I think just the best way to do things is she just stay away from me and I stay away from her. But she has said things before like, oh, I'm not Nay. I'll drag your ass through here. Hold on. How the fuck I get a part of this? How did I become a part of this conversation? That's between you and her. Don't drag me into this. That's y'all. How I get here? I ended the conversation the way I wanted to end it. But that's how they are. They'll make their friends look bad, which Khia is doing, making Maddie look weak in order to make themselves look stronger. Now let's move on to Maddie. Y'all know Maddie's a Libra. I'm a Libra. I'm very, very disappointed in Maddie because one, you don't know yourself till you see yourself. Now, I've known this about me for a while, like maybe 3 or 4 years, but people have always told me that I make up excuses for bullshit. I do, because I want to be fair and I want to think what's the best part of everybody. I come from a good place. I want to believe that everybody comes from a good place until I find out that there's people in this universe that come from bad places, and that you need to start looking at people sideways because motherfuckers don't have your best interest at heart, right? But when Maddie said, okay, y'all, it's my fault that I tried to make this production better, I understood exactly where she was coming from. And what's funny is my wife told me that I think like a hoe. And I said, no, baby, it's not that I think like a hoe. I think like a hustler. Because I'm always saying that if you're gonna get a pussy away, if you're gonna get a pussy away anyway, get some money for it. Why the hell is you out? And half of these women out here ain't having an orgasm. If you think for a second that it's these women out here screwing just to screw, there's something wrong in their head, because half of us don't get orgasms. There's women that's 50 years old that never had a damn orgasm before. They not doing it because it's good to them all the time. They doing it just because half the time it's just something to do. Or they trying to get some weed, or just some dumb stuff. If you're going to get a pussy away, you might as well get paid for it. That's how I feel. Sorry. But it's not even just about about selling a pussy. It's about hustling. Everybody should have a hustle, period. And y'all know that's how I am on my platform. And Maddie was thinking from a hustler's perspective, thinking about, okay, if I can get Monique on here, think what we can do next. Think where's the next places we can go. Where Scorpios can be more comfortable in their surroundings. Let's stay here because we're comfortable. And they work kind of good off of pressure. Whereas Libras, because we don't have the brain capacity to be thinking, steps and steps, like we don't have it to be ill prepared. So we have to be very, very proactive to be successful. We plan things out days in a row. Like I told like I was talking to my ex, I said, look, when I was in college, as soon as I got my syllabus, I was working on my paper. Because, in college, you have to, in order for you to pass the class, 9 times out of 10, especially in your arts classes, you have to do a paper in order for you to pass. And at UDC, them motherfuckers was like 40-page papers. It wasn't like you was going to wake up on the Monday before the Tuesday and turn that paper in and it was going to be, and it was going to be good. No. When I get that paper or that syllabus telling me what I need to do, that shit's already being worked out. So that's what Maddie's mind is. Being proactive works for her because she's thinking steps and steps above. Khia wasn't with it. Or steps and steps beyond. Khia wasn't with it. And unfortunately, what happens is when you have a person that thinks one way and you think another, people clash. And I can understand the frustration because Maddie was saying that she was frustrated because the Larry Reid show came in and they couldn't perform the way that they were supposed to perform. Or they couldn't produce the way that they were supposedly had to produce. So I would have been frustrated too. That's why Khia was around there acting like a fool, because she felt like her friend was being taken advantage of. And what she did to protect everybody was to get the fuck out of there. So, moving on to why I'm mad with Maddie. 1, she made up excuses for the bullshit. 2, she owned up to something, and I felt like being a Libra, she took the brunt of the blame just to keep the peace. And us Libras, we forever trying to keep the fucking peace. That shit is annoying to me. It makes me sick. But it's easier just to go ahead and just be like, hey, okay, it's my fault, my bad. When we know, for real, we shouldn't be taking the brunt for it, but we try to keep the peace. Which, for real, another thing that I'm really mad at Maddie about is I'm mad at her because she's almost begging Khia, please come back. We have a formula. It works. Let's get that guap. Let's get this guap. She's saying that my sister, meaning Khia, is going through her diva phase right now, but the Queen's Court will be back. She acknowledged that Khia blocked her, I think on Instagram. I think she blocked her, but she's still like, my sister's having her moment, which is true. Scorpios are very moody, but she will be back. Now, I felt like she was banking on Khia coming back. Well, at least that's what she put out to the masses until I heard loudmouth. Oh, let me say one more thing. Scorpios run their mouth too much. They talk way too much in effort to make themselves look bigger and puff their chests out, they say too many things, which in turn will bite them in the ass. Now, moving on to another loudmouth. Funky Dineva. I like her. I like him. He is a Leo. Love him. Y'all know I'm partial to Leos because I love how strong they are, right? Or at least their presentation of strength, right? But when I tell you that Funky Dineva threw Maddie under the fucking bus when he said, oh, I just got the phone with my sister, and my sister said she looking for a replacement for Khia. Maddie didn't say that. Maddie didn't say that there was going to be a replacement. All she kept saying was the show is built off of two different opinions. There will be two. She said Khia's coming back too. My sister's tripping right now. She will be back. That's why I believe Maddie is giving her a month to get herself together, because Scorpios are very moody. You go over there, you stay there, you take a break. I'll call you back in 20 days. We'll see how it works. 25 days, we'll see how it works. Day number 26, bitch, I'm going to replace you. Right? And notice when Khia was talking, Khia had said that she can get Funky Dineva to go over there to me. I'm saying to myself, do you know something? Do you know that Funky Dineva and Maddie has been talking about coming down there? Now, I said that if Khia doesn't come back, that I believe that she should do a rotating couch or rotating bench and just do, visiting judges. Okay, this is the Queen's Court, because Maddie does own the name now. She done bought the trademark. Okay, this is visiting judge Funky Dineva. I am the Queen's Court sitting judge T.S. Madison. This is visiting judge. This is visiting judge Funky Dineva. That's a good way of handling it. If, she decides to go forward after March 19th. But that daggone Quentin Latham, oh my God. I love how he stands in his bullshit. I love how he stands in his, what I want to call him? His indiscrepancies throughout life. I love that. That's what the Leos do. But I hate the fact that he runs his friggin' mouth. You talk too much. And he did that before with the Michelle girl. Is that ATL Lions? I forget that. But he went in on Khia. After a while, it became name throwing and just mean, vicious things to say. Leos are another one that'll tell you go find your grandmother's grave and dig her up, kiss her in the mouth, and tell her I said fuck you bitch and throw you back in there. Scorpios and Leos, time enough for each other, but they hate each other because they're time enough for each other. They will go toe to toe with the mouth, and both of them just as soft as pudding. But anyway, guys, tell me how you think about everything, because I'm just disappointed in how all of this is going on right now. I feel like how did we get here? How did it go from one to another? And bottom line, guys, I kind of understand being from a Scorpio, from a zodiac aspect. I'm kind of on Khia's side. I know everybody's mad about Khia for walking out, and I know y'all like, Nate, it don't have nothing to do with zodiac, blah blah blah. But coming from thinking about a Scorpio nature, it might have been best that she left. It might have been. Now she need to get over it and get her ass back there, And when she explained herself on the platform when she did her video, she could have left all the shit out where she was disrespecting Madison. But I think she did a good job. Anyway, guys, happy hump day. Deuce.